Well, hi, this is Robert Zuniga. I am a board member for the India Association of Minnesota. And today we have Kusum Gosain. And Kusum has been here in Minnesota for a little over 5 years and has been involved with the India Association of Minnesota in one form or another ever since then. Kusum is in her third official year on the India Association of Minnesota board, and she really enjoys volunteering, especially for this here group. India Association of Minnesota has provided her a platform to give back to the Indian and Minnesota community and to help progress India awareness in Minnesota. She's very passionate about bringing Indian and Minnesotan communities closer together and wants to see all the Indian regional and nonprofit organizations work together to reach this goal. Kusum really believes we can make a difference if we all work cohesively towards the same goal. Well, hi, Kusum. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, Robert. Thank you for the introduction.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate you taking the time to share what experiences you've had with the India Association of Minnesota. And let me ask you, why is the India Association of Minnesota important for us to know about?
Well, India Association of Minnesota is an organization that has been in existence since 1973. It is a nonprofit organization in Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, and it seeks to build sense of identity and community among people who are of Indian origin and who have an interest in India. This organization represents people with an interest in culture, heritage of India, and build a sense of cohesiveness within the community. I am really proud to be part of this organization.
Definitely. It is really a big part of Minnesota, having, as you mentioned, been here in some form since 1973. Could you share what India Association of Minnesota is by definition, how it kind of is operating and contributing today to the community?
Absolutely. India Association of Minnesota, as we call it, IM in short, is a nonprofit organization representing Indian community as a whole to the population at large and serves as focal point for advancing education, culture, and charitable interests of the community. In addition, IM seeks to do this with the help and support of many regional and nonprofit organizations that are in the community and have interest in India. One thing I wanted to add is that, in 1973, when the organization started, there were just a handful of Indian people here. And since then, the Indian community or the South Asian community has grown leaps and bounds. And as of last census, there are about 42,000 South Asian in Minnesota. So it is a big community, and we have a lot to do to bring all these 42,000 plus more people together.
Definitely. And, probably one of the more visual parts of what the India Association of Minnesota provides for the community are their 3 signature events, the Connect India, the Festival of Nations, as well as India Fest. Is there something you can share with our audience about each one of those and kind of what happens and the role that the India Association of Minnesota plays in bringing those events about?
Sure, my pleasure. Yes, as you mentioned, these 3 are our signature events, and as we go forward, we want to add many, many more events like this to our, the activities based on people's interest. So our first event, when we start the year in March, is Connect India event. It's a formal dinner with the business theme, and we get 200 to 300 people together. And, we usually have a keynote speaker, and then we have a panel discussion on a chosen topic. This has been very successful in the business community. Many families attended too, but as I said, it's more of a business flavor. Now, to bring the families together, we celebrate Indian Independence Day at India Fest, which is August 15th is when the Independence Day is, so we plan to celebrate that close to that date. And this event is at the State Capitol grounds. For the last 2 years we've done that, and we plan to do that in 2012 as well. This is our biggest event of all. We had about 6,000 people attend in 2011. And lots of families, enjoying the cultural programs, good Indian cuisine, nice outdoor weathers at the state capitol grounds, lots of shopping to do because with lots of booths, you can learn about many nonprofit organizations. It's just a happening place in mid-August, and all we've heard is good things about this event. So India Fest, as I said, is our biggest event. And then we also do participate in Festival of Nations, which is an event organized by the International Institute of Minnesota. This is where many, many countries come together under one roof, and they display their cultural programs, the educational stuff, and then cuisine. So you get to taste many cuisines. Indian Association participates and promotes all these three aspects at Festival of Nations, and that is usually the first week of May when we hold that event.
And that's just wonderful. And really a big part of what we're doing here is looking for people to join the India Association of Minnesota, and it's very easy to do. All you do is have to click on the link at the bottom of this page on this web page, and it will take you directly to the IAMN.org website where you can join the India Association of Minnesota. And without people being a part of the organization, both as board members or formally involved with the organization as volunteers, these events could not take place. In fact, with those three events, you're really serving, the community, and there's well over, I would venture to say, 8,000 people, sum total, that go to all three events that are able to celebrate what the Indian culture has to share here in Minnesota. It's a wonderful event. And, my family definitely enjoys the Festival of Nations event and the cultural experience that's available for people to partake in. Is there something that you could share with us about how people get started being a part of the India Association on a step-by-step basis as a board member, as a volunteer, and a member in general? Of course, this is our membership campaign, so we're interested in them joining now. But what kind of roles are there available for people to partake in?
Well, it's really easy. As you mentioned, go on our website, IAMN.org, and you can click on the button Join Today. There on our website, we have a list of board members. We have 20 to 21 volunteer board members, and they're all listed on our website. You may see a familiar name, and you could, their phone numbers and their emails are listed on the website. Feel free to pick up the phone or send an email to one of us if you have any questions or you have any ideas. Basically, we're here to represent you, and we want to tailor this as organization to your needs. So if these three events are not fulfilling your needs or you want to see something different, we want to hear about it. And the best way is to become a member and get yourself heard and let us know what else should we do, because as I said, we want to do many more events this year and in the coming years, but we want to make sure that we do events of your interest. So please go on our website, look at the list of board members, and just contact any one of us. We are spread throughout the Twin Cities, so if you want to pick up, one to the closest one, that's fine. You want to call me, my name is Kusum. My phone number is listed on the website. Please do so. I look forward to hearing from you.
That's great. And, really, one of the biggest parts of being involved with the India Association of Minnesota are the people. There's no end to the number of highly trained individuals who have fantastic team building skills, who are dedicated to provide a community outreach and time management skills in coordinating these community events. The experiences can only add to how you as an individual can grow and also support the visibility of the Indians here in the state of Minnesota. Is there any specific roadblock that you have found that prevents people from getting involved or even getting started with being a part of the India Association Minnesota?
Well, one of the roadblocks that I see or I hear from people is that they don't know about India Association of Minnesota. A lot of people are part of a regional organization and they think that all their needs are being met by being part of the regional organization. Now, India Association of Minnesota represents all regions, so India as a whole. So we get missed out because, once somebody becomes a member of a regional organization, they forget that, the India as a whole. So I see that as the biggest roadblock, that not knowing that an organization like this exists. And then I want to emphasize that, it's a nonprofit organization run by volunteers. So the elected board of directors are elected for a year, and they are giving all their volunteer hours to bring the community together, to bring all these regional organizations and other nonprofit organizations of interest in India, bringing together and then providing benefits to members by holding different events that can interest them. So as I said, the biggest roadblock is people not even being aware that an organization like this exists.
Definitely, and it has a huge impact in the state. So having the opportunity, like right now, where you're able to share some of the what's going on in terms of the organization, some of the events that I have, it's really a pleasure to allow people in the community to know more about what the India Association of Minnesota is all about. It is definitely an investment in community by being a part of the India Association of Minnesota. It's real simple to join. All you do is have to click on the button below, go to the IAMN. It will take you to the IAMN.org website, and you can join there for a very, very affordable fee. In fact, for the amount of educational and just fun activities that are provided through the India Association of Minnesota, I cannot imagine it not being here. The group does so much in terms of, and for so long, now well over or close to 40 years, being a part of establishing an identity and a consciousness and an awareness of how Indians contribute not only to the community themselves, but to the state of Minnesota as well. Are there any are there any strategies that you found that kind of help people overcome some of these roadblocks that we've mentioned in order to become a member?
Sure. One of the things, as I said, not being aware of India Association is one of the big things. And if you're not aware, and then you're not a member, so we are trying this year to do awareness campaign, and you can also call it membership campaign. We want to be actually at different regional organizations events. Be present there and teach you about our organization, who we are, what we're planning to do, and also make you aware of, again, the dates and the locations of our three big events. I have heard from my friends and acquaintances, what is happening here in Minnesota on Independence Day. And when you tell them there's an event called India Fest, and it's, at the state capitol ground, and that many people, and if they've not attended this event in past, their eyes open up wider, like, really? Who is doing that event? Well, India Association, along with all the regional organization support, is bringing this event to you. So the strategies are, we want to grow bigger and bigger in the coming years, and we can only do that, but if you become a member, if you get involved, if you bring new ideas, so we can make it more meaningful to you.
And that's fantastic, because what is really being shared is a look at how the India Association of Minnesota is relevant, and it is relevant here in the 21st century in Minnesota. And the strength of it is based on the people and the members that contribute. And the best way to contribute is to click on that link below and go to the IAMN.org page where you can join. It's very easy, very simple. We have it all set up for you to be able to become a part, so that way we can start developing more programs that will provide more educational as well as public events in addition to the three keystone events that are currently held. I mean, the regional organizations themselves, there's well over 10 of them that are in part represented by the India Association of Minnesota when people seek out a voice from the Indian community. And that's what makes this particular organization so critical to being a part of what you do in your day as you plan on your activities, your family involvement, your community support. Is there a misunderstood concept that is important for our audience to understand about what the India Association of Minnesota contributes?
Well, I think the misunderstanding is that, when people become part of regional organization, they think they are already associated with something related to India and that their needs are being met. And I want to encourage you to look into India Association of Minnesota's mission and goals, and you will see we are trying to represent broader than one region or regional organization, and represent India as a whole. And we are not, it's not duplication of what is being done in the regional community. This is a platform, this is a venue where you get to meet people of similar interests from different areas of India, and also from Minnesota, there are people who are very interested in learning about India or are doing business with India, but are of Minnesota origin. So this is the organization that is doing efforts to bring those two communities together. So please think beyond your region. Think about India as a whole. And as we mentioned again and again, go to our website, learn more about it, pick up the phone, call us, ask questions, and join. And then let us know what you think, which direction should India Association be going, because we're making these strategic plans based on what we think that you would want to see. But we want that assumption or thinking gone. We want to actually hear from you. We want to represent, bring you more meaningful and more relevant events.
That's fantastic. And so the India Association of Minnesota really invites you to participate, to bring your ideas, to bring your desires, to bring your interest, to participate in not only the events that are sponsored, but in the actual membership of the organization in order to contribute on the board as a volunteer. And the best way to do that is to join by clicking on the button below, going to the website, iamn.org, and contributing to the India Association of Minnesota so that way it can continue its tradition of bringing voice to the state of Minnesota for Indians here. Is there one physical action step that you'd like the listener to take before we close this here interview?
Absolutely. I just want to hear I want listeners to hear my personal story. I am new. I would still consider I'm new in Minnesota. It's been 5 years since I moved to Minnesota. And the first thing when you move to a new place, what you want to do is make friends. And I have a family. I have a 12-year-old son. We made some friends through his school, but that's a very small community, like you're making friends through school. I wanted to broaden that. I wanted to learn more about what other activities, what other events are going in the Twin Cities. I reached out, I did a little web search, I talked to my friends, and I learned about India Association of Minnesota. I attended their events for about a year, started volunteering, and just through the volunteering process, one fine day I learned that, I was reached out to become a board of director. I did for the first year. Second year, I was actually asked to become the vice president, and here I go now. I'm the president of IAM. This is actually really helping me and my family feel welcomed, and we've made a big network of friends and families together, and you feel this is home. We have people of similar interests. We can hang out with people. We can participate in events that interest us. and you just feel accomplished when you give a little bit back to the community, and make more friends, and that too in a fun way. It's not work, it's volunteering. You do it on your hours. So that's sort of like my story, that we feel really welcome and we feel privileged that we found an organization that provided us a venue, a platform to meet other families, to participate in different events. That's what I wanted to add as my experience.
Definitely. And it really does speak to, really living the dream and being a part of the community and making sure that your family is able to grow not only in spirit but in with the other people that you are involved with as your network grows. And not only is there the component of developing real relationships with real people here in the community, but people who share the same core values. And that's what makes the India Association in Minnesota so strong. And that's how it's been able to, in part, be able to represent the 10-plus regional organizations because of shared core values. And so I really encourage you right now, click on the link below, go to the IAMN.org website, and join. Join today. We are looking forward to you being a part of the India Association in Minnesota. And Kusum, I thank you very much, our president for 2012, for joining us today and sharing with us her story and a little bit about the India Association in Minnesota. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.